Free Joao Felix! Free Joao Felix! Free Joao Felix! Welcome back to Up the Villa Transfer Hub. Let's go, and fair play to you all. You smashed it yesterday with the subscribers going up, but your job is not done yet. We are not there yet. We are not at 20k. So if you are new around here, make sure you are subscribing. Get on this journey with us and take us to 20k. Villa are on the rise again. So we've got news on Joao Felix coming from Fabrizio Romano. We have Joao Felix back in Madrid to train alone, supported by Atletico Madrid staff. No chance to stay at Atleti as club wants to sell him and he wants to leave. Now, the big phrase from Fabrizio: Unai Emery insisting with dream signing, but Aston Villa will try and reduce expensive package. One to watch. That is the big one there. Insisting on dream signing. Unai Emery knows exactly what he can unlock with Joao Felix. And I'm all in on this now. I'm all in on Joao Felix. I'm starting the hashtag, the trend, wherever we want to go with it. Free Joao Felix. Get him to B6. So, yeah, big news still. I mean, it's big news. We mentioned it yesterday that it's one that's just not going away, is it? It's not going away. Transfer rumours come and go. Some stick around, and this one is sticking around. It's there. It's bubbling away behind the scenes. And I expect it to probably bubble around the scenes for a little bit longer, because we know that there's an expensive package, that there's a big deal there. But there's a deal to be done, in my opinion. The deal is there to be done because, as we've seen from Fabrizio's statement, that Atletico Madrid want to sell, Joao Felix wants to leave. So there's no scenario for me at all where he stays. So he's leaving. So something's got to give on the Atletico side of things, which would mean that Monchi behind the scenes will be on that blower non-stop, getting that deal done. So we can see here now that Joao Felix has returned to pre-season training today and he's now on his own. We've had Villa players that have been with the bomb squad, but this guy is currently in his own squad. There is no one for him to train with. It's unhealthy for both parties, and he's going to leave. So I imagine Villa are really working hard to get this deal done. Now, one big thing that I want to mention on this episode today, and it's probably the main part of it, is Monchi. Monchi is absolutely unbelievable. He's unbelievable at negotiating contracts, players, and we are seeing a proper recruitment policy, a structure, and we're now starting to see how he starts to operate. Proofs in the pudding with some of the players that we've signed: Illing Jr., Baronecha, those types of players, Nedeljkovic. Proofs in the pudding with how they play. So we've done fantastically well to sign them, which is part of his recruitment model. But another side of Monchi is how that they develop and how they play and how that they perform. You see that Monchi, he's not a guy in the background. You will see Monchi in and around the tunnel after games, in and around training. He's on the pre-season tour. He's there. He's the face of NSWE's Villa with Emery, with Vidagani. So he's a massive part of it. And part of his role is how these players settle in and play and adapt and work at Aston Villa as well. So we've got that proof in the pudding side. But how he's operating is first class. And it's something that I have been craving for Villa to have for absolutely years. You guys will know that I am super, super passionate about Aston Villa. And everything about the club, I want it to be the same. I want people that work for Villa to represent how I feel and to back Villa, to believe in Villa, and to have their own sole focus purely on Aston Villa. Now, let's talk about Monchi and this Duran deal, right? It is fascinating because we have a player, a little bit like Felix, that doesn't want to be here. He doesn't want to play for Villa. He wants to play somewhere else. And Villa will sell Duran, and Duran will leave because it's so unhealthy for him to come back now. We all know he wants to leave. So Villa have been offered money from West Ham, and you'd think the old Villa would just be like, oh, take him off our hands, please. We don't want him anymore. But Monchi's like, no, we don't just sell because this player's unhappy. If you want him, you pay what we value him at. If you want him, right, and you can't afford him, then I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll take the best kid in your academy in the deal and you'll put him in the deal as well, right? So that's what we saw yesterday. We saw that Fabrizio tweeted, understand Villa rejected West Ham's new bid. So this was the bid that happened yesterday. So it was 32 million plus Lewis Ordford and a sell-on clause in the contract to meet the 40 million. Villa said no, right? So we said no to that. And I just love that everything is on our terms. You want the player, you pay. We want your best kid, we'll have him. Chris Heck spoke about this as well with like the big six and Villa taking players from them. And just the way in which we're going about it and Monchi is absolutely fantastic. Duran doesn't want to be here, but that doesn't mean we're going to just sell him at a lower fee just so we can get it done quickly. It doesn't work like that anymore at Villa. It works like you'll pay what we say and that's it. And I absolutely love it. And Monchi needs a massive shout out because, you know, he's working probably tirelessly behind the scenes. His screen time on his phone must be just like through the roof. And it's so pleasing to see that we are really savvy with the way in which we're going about our business and we just don't get held to ransom. And I absolutely love it. We could have an unhappy player that's playing for Villa. Old Villa would have just got rid, sold on the cheap, moved him on, whatever, but not Villa anymore. I absolutely love it. So, Monchi, fair play to you, my friend, because you're absolutely doing bits. But yeah, Joao Felix, for me, is... I really want him. And I know it's going to be... Again, I know some comments are a little bit like, we don't want him. So, we'll set you a challenge then. So, the challenge is, and we'll get a good gauge of where we're at, okay? If you want Joao Felix, in the comment section down below, you have to put hashtag free Joao Felix, right? So if you want him, that's your hashtag. If you don't want him, then I will leave it up to you at what you can put the hashtag as. So you can be creative, you can put whatever you want. So obviously keep it clean. So we've got free Joao Felix if you want him, and then whatever you want to go with on the other side. And we'll see where we're at, and we'll get a good understanding of what's going on. So, yeah, Joao Felix, one to watch from Fabrizio. And I imagine next week, I've got a feeling next week we'll probably see Villa's hand. I think we'll play our hand next week. We'll probably let this simmer and bubble around a bit. We'll let Felix be in there eye line of what's going on and back in the building. And then I think Villa will play our card and we'll offer something and we'll go from there. I think the player probably really wants to come to Villa now as well, because we've been after him for quite a while. And I'm not being funny, but if these words are put in a sentence, Unai Emery insisting with dream signing, Unai insisting, that's telling me Unai has gone to NSWE and said, make this deal happen. And I think where we are, it would be a massive, it would honestly, for me personally, it would be a massive statement signing. I think it would send ripples and shockwaves through European football, and Villa in the Champions League and him just cooking. I think it would be absolutely fantastic. So you've got 2 jobs on your hands. You've got free Joao Felix in the comments or your own creative hashtag, and you've got to subscribe to the channel. Right, we'll be back Sunday morning early, unless today there's any more news of anything that's happened. Sunday morning, watch along. See you all there. Hopefully we get to see some of the new Villa players in action as well. Up the Villa.